This is a special video that I recorded with Jimmy Sliwa from the Husbands Club, and we're going to talk about pursuing your spouse. I am here with Jimmy Sliwa, and he created a thing called the Husbands Club. Jimmy, do you want to talk about the Husbands Club real quick?
Sure. This is an idea. I had an idea 5 years ago. It was just a problem in my own marriage that I noticed where the romance just seemed to die off a little bit as we had kids, and I got into my career, and life just got really busy with all these other obligations. My wife Anna and we just noticed that the romance really petered off. And I just wanted to make a platform for husbands that need help continuing to date their wife. I think that's very valuable that you continue to pursue your wife, continue to have chivalry, even after you win over the girl. And so that's kind of where the Husbands Club was born. And so we just launched it in April of this year, 2022, sorry.
Yeah, and I think that's a common theme that I hear a lot, which is when you're dating, you tend to pursue a partner. And then once you get married, you're no longer pursuing with the same goal. I mean, when you're first dating, you're trying to impress someone, generally. Yeah. And then once you get married, your roles kind of change into as you start to take on these other roles of parent and your jobs are in the way, there's so much more life that you're doing together. I think I see that as a common thing that happens. And I know for my wife and I, we've definitely had times that we don't date as much.
Sure.
And especially when we were in grad school, when we were in college, where you're just so busy. And then adding kids make it hard. So what do you kids make it hard to date? That's true if you're single or married. Kids make it hard to date. So how do you make time? Having kids, having jobs, how do you make time for dating your spouse?
I'd love to say I'm perfect at it, but it's still a work in progress. And I think the word work is really what it is. Is that sometimes you have to put something on the schedule. That's worked for us is if we go, hey, it's been a while. So we look at our schedules. We go, hey, let's go out on Friday night. And then we can, from there, once it's on the books, I often will then come up with an idea. And then it's about a matter of, okay, we got to get babysitters. And then we got to make sure, the kids are going to be fine. And then I got to come with something to do. But I think it's just realizing it takes work to pursue your spouse. You got to be good at organization and scheduling. And then just know that it's worth it, because going on regular dates or just making time to put your best foot forward again just really makes you more connected. But in marriage, it takes work. That's all there is to
it. And it sounds like, and I've definitely have that same view of marriage does take work, but it's good work and it's fun work.
It is.
And it should remain fun work. So when you're planning a date, planning to go on a date with your spouse, you set a time aside for it, this evening, this night, gonna get a sitter. Where do you start in planning that date? Where do you get ideas from? Where do you begin to plan a date?
We have the usual things that we like to do, the hobbies, whether it's go out hiking or we like to catch a new movie that's come out. A lot of times I'll just Google what's going on in my area. And almost every city has a calendar of events. And so if there's a big event coming up that you see on the horizon, then I like to hey, there's this concert coming out. And I'll ask my wife, hey, do you want to go to this? So you can always Google and search what's going on in your area. And then just trying to be creative, which is, it can be challenging at times, but a date doesn't always have to be going out and doing something grand. it could be like, hey, we're gonna stay home and we are gonna cook a meal together. And then I picked out this rom-com and we're gonna sit down and watch it together. But I think it's just making intentional effort to connect.
I think I think sometimes those are greatly underrated. The dates that are things that you like to do that aren't a big grand gesture, but are just a very comfortable time to spend together. My wife and I have a coffee shop that we like to go to. That whenever Finley is somewhere and we
Hmm.
have a day that we have some time, there's one coffee shop we go to. We bring board games, we bring books, we read, we spend time together there. But we've also gotten used to doing the exact same thing when Finley is there, when our son is there,
Yeah.
is taking him with us and also bringing board games. And so, do you ever have any times that you like, it's like a date, but it's centered around the whole family and not just you as a couple? Do you ever have something like that?
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
know it's like a family outing, but like feels more like that kind of getting close and relationship building with your whole family.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's equally important that as much as you pursue your wife, you also have to pursue a relationship with your kids. I think it's great to do family outings and do fun events, and I guess you could call them, a family date. Um, and I know that the kids are watching. I have two kids, Jaden and Kendall. They're 5 and 2.5, and they're always watching what we're doing, and if dad and mom are holding hands, or um, we're laughing and smiling. And so we like to get the kids involved in lots of activities. And it's honestly, it's great family time. With the husbands club, we really encourage, and our main goal is for husbands to pursue their wife. And it's a good point. Pursuing your wife is not just going on dates. I think pursuing your wife is also like your dad. Find a need that your mom has. She's a stay-at-home mom, so she needs her own time. And so husbands can also pursue their wife by um, taking the kids off their wife's hand, or making sure that they're helpful around the house, or recognize if your wife is feeling sad or feeling lonely, that you attend to her needs. And that's another great way that you can pursue your wife. It doesn't have to be extravagant dates all the time.
So, if you were going to give advice to a a man who's married and they're feeling disconnected from their spouse, life is getting in the way. They really have a lot going on at work. They have a lot going on with kids. Things are super busy, and just not feeling that connection with your spouse. It's a stressful space to be in, and not knowing how to get back there, not knowing where to start in pursuing your spouse after there's already this tension built up, there's already this disconnection made. What would your advice be to getting started, figuring out how to get back into that relationship?
Yeah, when there is tension, and it can be a hard place. It could be an awkward place. I think it's going back to the basics, remembering your original reason why you got married in the first place, why you fell in love, and then I don't think anything can beat intentional alone time. Um, I think then that's when you got to pull out the calendar, look ahead, figure out a day or a weekend that you can have some free time, and then formally invite your spouse. Say, hey, I have next Friday is open. Do you want to go out? I booked reservations, and just show that you are making an effort. And I think a mistake husbands can do is like, hey, do you want to go out? Where do you want to eat? What do you want to do? I think you got to be assertive. So if you're in that position, I just say, look ahead at your schedule, pick a day, make it happen, and get alone time where you can connect and you can actually talk without being interrupted.
Yeah. Planning for no interruptions. It seems very simple.
But it does, and it's work, and it's totally worth it. It just takes effort.
If someone is wanting like a list of ideas for dates or something they could do with their spouse, where might they find that?
You can go over to thehusbandsclub.com. Right now, and this is still a work in progress, but we're building a date library. Our goal is to make a massive library so that you aren't stuck scratching your head thinking like, oh, what should I do Friday night? We're also trying to incorporate some, I don't know, we call them husband hacks or husband helpers, where we're going to have some things that you can actually print off, like date night invitations that you could send to your wife. Or you even have a bingo board that kind of gives you prompts of like, hey, compliment your wife's beauty, maybe give her a little gift, maybe, hey, why don't you do the dishes tonight? And just give little inspiration. So yeah, if you head over to thehusbandsclub.com, then you can get little help there, and it's a platform that we're building, and so there's going to be a lot more coming down the pipe.